Se você deu por falta nessa conversa toda do ronco do motor, não é só você, viu? No futuro, o ronco de um motor a combustão vai ser bastante raro. Só que as pessoas ainda dependem do barulho para saber que os carros estão vindo. Mas que som é esse que a gente presta atenção? E como é o processo de desenhar o som artificial de um carro elétrico que não fazia isso? Para falar sobre o tema, a gente foi conversar com a Daniele Veni. A Daniele Veni é a musicista responsável por produzir o som do motor do Nissan Leaf. A gente conversou sobre o seu processo de criação.
We want to convey the emotion of the brand, right? I think with Nissan, it's innovation that excites. So how do I convey that emotion in a tiny little sound so that the value of the car feels present in the sound that it makes, right? If that sound feels cheap, or if it sounds annoying, or if it sounds whatever it's going to sound like, it's going to convey some sort of value, right, along with the safety message, along with the emotion.
So you have a situation where you have to make a sound for this low velocity of the car. People will listen to it, and you have to convey something that is interesting, that is new, that is sounds not necessarily expensive, but high quality. And how long does this sound have to be?
The sound itself is only going to be, I think, about 3 seconds long. This is a 3-second long sound, but it has to loop. It has to repeat. So it sounds like a continuous tone. And so the first thing that we did, our team did, is we built we made a little piece of software where we could put the sound into the software and it would loop it. And then I had a little pedal, like a volume pedal, but I made the volume pedal control the pitch and speed. So immediately, once we started making a sound, I said, okay, I want to hear what this sound does when I accelerate and decelerate, because that's where it lives. It's like a sound that has elasticity to it. It's got to go up, it's got to go down. And sometimes you can make a sound that feels really good, like the 3 seconds, it feels good, it feels right. But once you start pitching it up and down, it loses something, right? It starts to deteriorate. So it's like a sound that never is going to be experienced the same way each time. It's always moving. We end up using lots of samples of woodwinds and then some synth sounds. But the cool thing about woodwinds is that you can get that a nice sound without an attack, right? Without the sound doesn't have necessarily an attack. And you can control the way the sound decays with the woodwind. You can get a very stable pitch. And woodwinds have like very colorful overtones too.
So do you feel that if it was a different kind of car, like a super sportive car or a luxury car for a backseat passenger with a driver, you would make it sound differently?
You know, if you have a very powerful car, a sports car or a muscle car, I would want to experiment with putting lower frequencies into it, right? To connotate the feeling of power and almost make it intimidating. But I would also need the hardware to be in place to support that.
We have now digital cell phones, we have virtual reality, we have augmented reality, we have electric cars, many new digital applications that just don't have sounds. No, we still don't have an intuition of how they should sound. So do you feel we are entering an age with more sonic experience that can be designed?
I think so. I'll say I hope so. You know, I hope that so much of the noise pollution that we experience is from gas-powered, you know, engines and things like that, and from things that are burning, and you know. So if I think about it from the highest level, like I want us to get to a place where we're not a noisy, intense, polluting, chaotic environment. And I hope in that case we have an opportunity to craft how it sounds, how it should feel. I also think, you know, you talk about these experiences that didn't have sound, we have to imagine them. A lot of times sound is a way in for, designing for people that are deaf, or that are, excuse me, blind, people with different impairments. And I think that's something I'm really interested in too, is like designing for differently abled people. When you do that, everybody benefits.